Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can connect Sierra Interactive to Google Contacts. All those contacts you have in your Gmail, all the contacts you're saving to your phone will automatically get added as contacts in Sierra Interactive, so you can start following up and working those leads to create more deals. It's super easy to set up. Also, it works both ways, so all those contacts and leads you're getting in Sierra automatically save to your phone. Let me show you how to set this up. The first step is to go to apination.com, and then you click on the button that says Start Syncing. You can see a ton of different apps, marketing apps, productivity apps, real estate apps. I'm going to scroll down until I get to S for Sierra Interactive, and that's going to show me all the syncs available for Sierra Interactive. So you can see I can connect Sierra Interactive to apps like Constant Contact, MailChimp, Mojo Dialer, and today we're going to do Google Contacts. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see there's two syncs available, one sending them from Google Contacts to Sierra and the other going back from Sierra to Google Contacts. You can set up either of these syncs or you can set up both of these syncs. Totally up to you. I'm going to start with going from Sierra to Google Contacts. That's a pretty popular direction. It keeps your caller ID always updated with all the leads from Sierra Interactive on your phone. So the first step is to sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have one, you can create one by clicking right here. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Google. And now we're going to connect Sierra Interactive. So I'm going to hit connect. It's going to ask me for an API key and the name of my company. So the name of your company, that can just be your name. That can be your company's name or your brokerage's name. Totally up to you. But this is just in case you're connecting multiple Sierra Interactive accounts to API Nation, which is pretty unusual unless you are like a marketing expert or the tech person for a region. So I got my Gabe Co, that's going to be my name, and then I'm going to go to Sierra Interactive to get my API key. You can see to get it, I got to go to the gear icon, integrations, and API Nation. So let's go. So here we are in Sierra. I'm going to go to the gear icon. Come on down here to the integrations tile, click on that. And then it's going to show me all the integrations for Sierra. It's going to be under direct API. And here we have Sierra Interactive. Pretty soon there's going to be a tile right up here that says API Nation, and you just click on that. But for now, we're going to go with the Sierra Interactive tile. And it's going to work the same way. Once you click on the tile, whether it's API Nation or Sierra Interactive, there's going to be an API key in here. So you're going to grab that, copy it, go back to API Nation, and paste it in there. And that's it. That's how you make the connection. Super easy. And then once Sierra is connected, you can now set up as many syncs with Sierra as you want. You don't have to go back and reconnect it. Similar thing with Google Contacts. You're just going to hit connect. You don't have to get an API key or anything. You just have to sign in with the Google account, and that makes the connection for Google. All right, now we're just going to do a little pre-configuration before we create the sync. So first thing, do you want to sync system notes? Totally up to you. There's an ability to sync notes to Google Contacts to your connected app. And sometimes people want the notes that are created by the Sierra Interactive system as well. I'm going to say no for now. I just want the contact information. And then do you want to sync all contacts on first run? That's going to take all your existing leads and contacts in Sierra and push them into your Google Contacts account. A lot of people like to do this when they're trying to get the contact in your Google Contact and your Gmail all caught up with everybody from Sierra. So you would check that box and say, do it, sync all. If you have a ton of contacts, you don't want to push it all into your phone, just uncheck that box and it's just going to start sending new and updated contacts from now on. As they get added to Google, you have a couple options here. You can actually have them labeled. So you can just click this drop down and choose a label or create a new label. So I'm going to create a label called Sierra Interactive. So you can do that. And then everybody's nicely labeled, nicely organized inside your Google Contacts. And then also it asks if the contact already exists in your Gmail, should we overwrite that contact or should we just leave it how it is? I'm going to say do not overwrite that information. Then I'm going to hit subscribe. That's going to create my subscription here. And it also creates the workflow. So this is the actual workflow. It's not active yet. It takes all that configuration we gave it and created that workflow. So this is the same. This is all that stuff we brought over. There's just two things I want to show you here. One is the filter. So this is a general use filter. You can filter on anything coming from Sierra. So here's all the fields Sierra is sending over to Google Contacts. And if you want to filter on any of this stuff, you can. For example, maybe you want to only send over people who you tag Google Contacts. You can do that. You just set it up like that and hit save. Or you can do it based on if they have an email address. Email is not empty. Tons of different stuff, all based on what's coming over from Sierra. Lastly, we have mapping. You can see we do most of this for you. We put the phone number here, the email here, first name, last name. If there's anything else you want to add here, maybe you want to find a phone number here, you just hit this plus sign over here, and then it's going to bring up this field where it shows you all the Sierra stuff. And you can actually just search for stuff, phone, listing agent phone, lender phone. I'm going to go stick with regular phone. Pop that regular phone in there. This looks good. Here's notes. Like I said, you actually can sync notes from Sierra. So I hit plus sign and go all the way to the bottom, notes. And you can go ahead and put this in here. I'm just going to put the contents in. That way when I make a note in Sierra, it'll put it in my notes for Google Contacts. So this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and activate this sync. There we go. So now this sync is up and running. Now all my Sierra contacts will get synced into my Google Contacts as I update them as new one comes in. I want to set it up going the opposite direction as well. So I could just click this Sierra logo. It's a nice shortcut taking back to all the Sierra syncs. Do that Google Contacts again. And this time we're going to go Google Contacts to Sierra. It's going to be the exact same stuff. You're already connected, so you can just select the accounts you've already set up with API Nation. And then you're going to see a very similar looking page. Do you want to only send over people from a certain label in Google Contacts? Do you want to sync all contacts from Google Contacts on first run? And do you want to override information in Sierra as they get added? One thing to note is if you are sending contacts to Google Contacts with a label like we just did, you need to make sure you select that label here so that that's what gets synced over into Sierra. Otherwise, you can just go with default and it's going to sync everybody into Sierra, and that'll work fine also. So this looks good. I'm going to go with default. I'm going to tell it to sync all contacts on first run, get everybody in there. And we do want it to overwrite people in Sierra. I keep my Google Contacts as my central point of truth. So I always want Google Contacts to overwrite whatever I'm syncing it to. And then I'll just hit subscribe. Again, we're going to have this same page. The workflow is now created. You have the filter here if you want to set that up. And again, the mapping. One interesting thing here is you're setting these contacts over to Sierra. You should know you have to create a password for every contact, because a contact in Sierra is not just a contact, but it's actually an account for that client to sign into the website. So you can see emails coming over. What we suggest here for the password is just to put in sync over their email as their password. So this way their email will be their sign in and their email will also be their password. Just let them know to change that password as soon as they can so that it is more secure. But this will work. Their email will be their email will be their password, and all this other stuff is mapped up. If there's anything else, again, you want to map up, you can go ahead and hit the plus sign, search for it, or you can even simply type it. For example, if I want to tag all these, I can say Google Contacts. And then every contact that comes through this sync will have this tag in Sierra. So I can do something like that. This looks good though. I'm going to go to the top and activate this sync. There we go. So now if I go over to my syncs, I have two syncs running, Google Contacts to Sierra and Sierra back to Google Contacts. So that's it. That's how you connect Sierra Interactive to Google Contacts. Now all your contacts are getting saved to your phone, to your Gmail. All your Gmail contacts are getting put into Sierra as leads, so you can start scaling your business. It happens automatically. You don't have to do anything, so you can just focus on creating more deals. If you have any questions or need any assistance setting up this sync, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, and we're connecting the world's applications.